When most people talk about the end of the rainbow, they think about a leprechaun sitting on a pot of gold. But I've never imagined it that way. I've always pictured the end of the rainbow as a place where there's a giant talking tree telling me not to feed the dragons.
Don't feed the dragons! Don't feed the dragons!
And it turns out I was right all along. Everyone else is incorrect. That's exactly what Rainbow's End is. Rainbow's End is New Zealand's only theme park, located in Manukau, Auckland, towards the top of the North Island. And given New Zealand's small population, the fact that a theme park exists is honestly pretty astounding, let alone the fact that Rainbow's End actually surpasses a lot of the Australian theme parks in many areas, including theming. The park has an awesome lineup of attractions and rides and things to do, and some really standout attractions that are actually built in-house, which are honestly baffling and mind-blowingly well themed. There's a surprising amount of things to do at Rainbow's End, so come along with me and I'll share my little adventure back home to New Zealand and show you how awesome a park Rainbow's End is and why you should visit. Right off the bat, Rainbow's End has a really cool, unique entrance with this awesome sign that is sort of displayed like the end of the rainbow, as the name implies. And it's a great photo opportunity. It's really popular. Lots of people line up to take pictures here, and it's such a cool first impression. The layout of the park is a little bit strange because it's sort of nestled in Manukau in the city, like amidst the highway and the road and everything. There's not a lot of space here, but they've really used it incredibly well. It feels very compact and cozy, but it is surprisingly larger than you would think at a first glance. During our visit, Rainbow's End had recently opened their brand new attraction, Pacifica, a Huss pirate ship ride, which I did not go on myself because I get terrible motion sickness. But Theme Park Ogre did go ride on this, and he said it was really fun. You get some great moments of airtime throughout the ride, and even he got a little bit motion sick on this, which is surprising because he doesn't usually, so I'm kind of glad I didn't ride this, but it looks like a lot of fun, and it's really well integrated into the park. The theming is awesome. They've written like an original song for it, they've got a character, drawings, it's really well done, and it looks fantastic. It's a great addition. They've also got the Drop Tower ride, which was actually closed during our visit because it was quite windy, and the Stratosphere Pendulum Swing ride, which is very popular. I would say it's probably the most popular attraction at the park. It gets fairly big lines, all things considered. They do operate it with two modes. There's the intense mode and the not so intense mode. I've personally been on the less intense mode, and it was a lot of fun. It was really cool. You get some fantastic views of the area, and it's not too scary, it's not too intense. The intense version, on the other hand, is way out of my comfort zone. That thing goes fully upside down with some crazy hang time that leaves you just suspended in midair for a few seconds. It looks pretty scary. The first thing we did was make our way towards the back end of the park to have some lunch, and this is probably my favorite area of the park. The sight lines here are insanely cool. You get a great view of the Arrow roller coaster, which is like a remnant of the olden days. It's beautiful. It's a lovely vintage coaster. It's New Zealand's largest coaster, which isn't saying much because there's only a handful of coasters in the country, but it's got a very nostalgic, nice feel to it. It looks really cool. It stands out, and it's a lot of fun. I didn't get to ride it this trip because I was unfortunately having some back pain issues, but I have been on it a few times in the past and I love it. It's a little bit janky, it's a little bit old, but very lovable. You've also got the Invader flat ride, which is a lot of fun and looks really cool. This is a lot larger than other rides of a similar style, but it fits really nicely into the landscape. There's also another flat ride, which I didn't even go near because this thing looks terrifying. It's one of those spinny ones, which would make me vomit everywhere, so I didn't even want to look at it. But I think the way that people were screaming was a good sign, I hope. But the absolute standout attraction in this area, and possibly the entire park, is the Enchanted Forest log loom attraction. This thing is insanely good. I was blown away by this. I was not expecting this to be so fantastic. And even since my last visit, they've added a lot of new features and new animatronics to this attraction. This was actually built in-house, and I believe there was an older version of the ride which actually got burnt down in some kind of accident, so they had to sort of construct it again, and they just went crazy with the theming. I don't even know exactly what the theme is. It's an everything attraction. This ride has everything. You go through a mountain with a moai and a crocodile, and there's like interaction between the levels. You can see people up on the second level ahead of you on the ride, and they can see you and shout down at you. And then you go into this forest with animatronics everywhere, which are a little bit janky and funny. Like this one tree that tells you, don't feed the dragons.
Don't feed the dragons! Beat the dragon.
which made me lose my mind. I was laughing so hard at this because the theming is so high quality. And then for the voice actor, it's like they just got in just some ordinary Kiwi guy from the street, like a farmer or something. And it's so ridiculous, but so quirky and lovable. My favorite thing though has to be the dragon, which is actually climbing on the lift hill of the Gold Rush minecart coaster. Which, can we just take a second to admire the fact that in a park of this size, in a country of this size with so little people, they've gone like big brain modes. They've got rides interacting with each other in insane ways that are really cool. Whereas as people are going up the lift hill, you can see them, they can see you. It's so awesome. It's just really special. It's such a hidden gem. There's nothing else like this that I've been on in this end of the world, really. I mean, we've got Wild West Falls at Movie World, which is fantastic, but I think the way that this log flume is laid out is so unique and interesting. It kind of like leaves Wild West Falls hanging in the dust. I don't understand how they're so far ahead of the parks in Australia, which have such a larger budget when it comes to this kind of thing. The creativity, the ingenuity, the insanity, the maximalist theming, just chuck everything in there. It's incredible, and it's my absolute favorite attraction of the park. After you get through the forest, you climb up a lift hill, and you get this amazing view of the drop tower, this crazy sightline view, which unfortunately it wasn't running during the day we were visiting, but it would have looked amazing to climb up that lift hill and see the drop tower up there in the distance. And then there's a tiny splash, not much of a drop at all, and you find yourself in like a pirate cove, and they've got pirate music playing, like original score or music, I think, sort of like a budget Pirates of the Caribbean vibe. And again, more interaction with the Gold Rush minecart coaster. You sort of catch the coaster at the end of its layout. It's just like such a cool interaction to see people going past. And then you go through the pirate cove, and there's a sunken pirate ship with some fairies or elves or something on it, and this terrifying tree with water dropping down. And then you enter this crazy dark ride section, which is so elaborate and so intricate. There's so much stuff to look at in here. There's theming absolutely everywhere. It's really beautiful. It's very quirky and eccentric. Kind of ugly, but charming at the same time. I'm just blown away by it. I can't capture how awesome it actually is. There's some straight up terrifying stuff in here, some really creepy elves. I don't know what the heck's going on, but I love it. And then there's like a Jack Sparrow sort of moment, like Pirates of the Caribbean, but some elf or goblin or fairy, I don't know, sitting on a throne of treasure and gold and stuff. And then there's like Pirates of the Caribbean drop with a skeleton pirate with some cool like UV lighting or something. And then you find yourself on the second level of the mountain that you came in at the beginning of the ride, and you can see people down below. And then finally you get the grand finale, the big drop at the end of the ride, which packs way too much of a punch considering the size of the ride. This thing is so janky and insane. The drop is ridiculous. I wouldn't say the drop itself is intense, it's what happens afterwards, because the boat sort of skims across the water and just fully sends it just at like high speed. You actually feel like you're going to crash the boat into the wall, and it kind of does. But it's so fun. I love it. Yeah, I just love this ride so much. You absolutely have to visit the park, specifically for this attraction. This is like the standout hit. This is like the ride that puts New Zealand on the map for theme parks, because they've done an insanely good job. And I'm not saying that because I'm a Kiwi. I'm not just being a Kiwi supremacist. It really is just fantastic. And even after the ride, there's some really impressive theming. There's a really cool map that's hand-drawn, and it's very intricate and beautiful. It would make a fantastic t-shirt. The other standout attraction at Rainbow's End is the Gold Rush minecart coaster. Again, another attraction that was built in-house. I don't know how they did it. I don't know where the heck they got the money or anything to do this from. Like, how do they have the funding for this? This is insane. It's a mystery. It's a mysterious attraction. It's like a Wild Mouse without any of the Wild Mouse elements. The queue has some really cool theming updates that weren't there on my first visit. They've got some rock work, some guy telling you how he's found gold with a really cool illusion, like you're looking down a mine shaft.
You're gonna love this tour. A bit of luck. Y'all might see some genuine gold.
The only thing that's not quite impressive in the queue for the Gold Rush ride is the music. They're just playing generic pop music, which kind of takes you out of that whole cowboy atmosphere. I feel like they need some proper cowboy music, some like you know, cowboy stuff, the stuff that cowboys used to listen to on the radio back in the cowboy days. No, you get pop music. You get some like, I don't know, Billie Eilish, some Dua Lipa, some Charlie XCX, some very un-cowboy type music. As for the ride itself, this thing is insane. It's so janky, it's so rough, it's borderline unenjoyable, and yet somehow, despite all of that, it manages to be a very enjoyable experience. Oh my god! The layout doesn't really make any sense. It's bizarre. It's throwing you out of the seat all the time. You can barely sit still. You're literally like sliding along the seat and everything. Yeah, the only way I can describe it is it's like a wild mouse, but if a wild mouse didn't have any of the elements of a wild mouse, if the layout was completely randomized and someone drew it like blind or something. But it's got some really incredible theming. It's really impressive. It's like their own little Big Thunder Mountain. It's got animatronics, it's got cool lighting, it's got ride interaction with the log flume. You go over the little lake area, the lagoon thing. It has no right being so cool. This and the log flume are insane. I just can't even understand how these exist. They're so good. There are lots of other attractions around the park. They've got like kids area, which we didn't go on any of the rides there, and they've got some like bumper boats, which are really unique and interesting. Dodgems with some nice theming. But the main attractions that we went on were the log flume and the Gold Rush minecart coaster. And during the time we visited, they were also hosting a nighttime extended park hours event. So we came back in the evening as it was getting dark to check out the park and experience some of the rides during sunset and nighttime, which was really awesome. It was great to get a few more rides on the log flume. It looks fantastic in all different lighting conditions at sunset. At nighttime, I feel like the dark ride sections really shine. I would say nighttime is probably the best time to ride the attraction. I know in winter they do some like special winter event where there's fairy lights and things hanging up. I'd love to come back and experience that one day, although it would be freezing cold. The minecart coaster, not too many differences at nighttime really. Still a lot of fun and just an awesome attraction. So that wraps up my visit to Rainbow's End, and as I've said, this is a really underrated park. Growing up in New Zealand, people always sort of spoke about it like jokingly, like embarrassingly almost, like it was not a good place at all. So I grew up with this impression that it was not worth visiting, and I don't think people quite have the right idea about it. I think it's honestly far better than it has any right being, and New Zealand should be really proud of it. And I hope that the park can continue to expand and get new attractions. It's fantastic that they've got the Pacifica pirate boat ride, which looks beautiful. I hope that they can maybe get an extra coaster sometime in the future, something like compact and small that would fit nicely into the landscape. They're unfortunately quite limited for space, so they really have to be very intentional with which attractions they add to the park. But you should 100% visit Rainbow's End if you're in New Zealand, and if you're considering trying to get some unique ride credits, you should book a flight out to Auckland and go down to Rainbow's End, because it's really close to the airport. It's not far away at all. It's very easy to get there, and I'm so proud as a patriotic Kiwi that Rainbow's End exists. It's a very quirky, eccentric, bizarre, unique park with some amazing highlights that are well worth checking out. And before we finish, I'd like to give a very special thank you to the members and sponsors of Team YumYum for supporting my channel and supporting my content. It really means a lot to me. I'm so grateful for all your support. Thank you so much. A very special thank you to Koala75, Lee Donald, Maloney's Coasters, Randall, Kai on the Internet, Carrie Jekin, Audrey Allen, Oogie Boogie, Theme Park Ogre, Jordan Casey, Senpai's JP Blue Dog, Senpai's JP Red Dog, Local Aussie U4X, Wayne Hewitt, The Downy Cat, The Kez, Mika, Smathmo the Awesome, Lexi Marie, Sienna's Hot Lunch, Jacqueline Bees, and Vincent Goatee. And for anyone who would like to become a member or sponsor of Team YumYum, you're more than welcome to do so. This will give you occasional access to new videos early, as well as a shout out and thanks at the end of my videos, and also custom emojis, a little sticker next to your username, and last but not least, you also get a custom hand-drawn illustration by me to suit your very needs and requirements. And for the sponsors, you also get an animated version of this character. But if you're not in a position to support the channel in this way, you're more than welcome to leave a like, a friendly comment, or subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.